Oh, and we are back. And local news, our Savannah Ghost Pirates opened this season, or they opened their season this past week on Thursday, and they took the W against the Fuel 4-1 in their season opener. Let's go, Ghost Pirates. If you haven't made it out there, it's it's a great time, and the team just got. I mean, there are a lot of new guys on the team. A new coach after halfway through last season, they made start making coaching changes, and things started turning around. Then at the very end of the last season, they changed their NHL affiliate and are now partnered with the current NHL champions, the Florida Panthers. So 2 years in a row, the Ghost Pirates are affiliated with the NHL.
This says, "Oh, happy day."
Oh, happy day!
Them
So
them
yeah,
Ghost Pirates games are fun, man.
oh
I'm
yeah,
with
they
I'm
are.
with Glenn. I'm hyping that up.
And because we're affiliated with the champion again, we should have the cup coming around Savannah again. So if you missed your chance to take pictures with the Stanley Cup, you'll get another chance this year. Yeah, Ghost Pirates games are awesome. Some of the guys and some of the workers, they come into Frawley since we are all right there. As I cooked them all dinner. Sent them a whole bunch of pasta 2 weeks ago, getting
That's
them ready
awesome.
for the season. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. They have a new partnership too with WJCL ABC, where I believe at least 2 games this season are going to be available for streaming. So, and maybe even on TV, hopefully. So, that's going to be awesome. And yeah, they just started it out, and they're ready to rock. But man, Kels, college football, it's finally here. We got the 12-team playoff. Everything's it seems like it's everything like college football just seems better this year. It seems like the NIL and the transfer portal have helped like level the playing field out a little bit. Do you agree to that a little bit?
1,000%.
I
Thousand
mean,
percent.
it's so awesome. I mean, you still have these powerhouses, but I mean, a lot of powerhouses are taking one loss here or there, and I mean, like in Georgia's instance, they lose that thriller against Alabama a couple weeks ago, but at the same time, it was like, would they really have lost if they had gotten started on the right foot? I
Yeah.
mean, they had some hiccups in the beginning, and sometimes that can come out a little more against a huge rival and things like that. I mean, we see it in the NFL all the time when you have like a team like the Browns that aren't doing well at all somehow wind up beating the Ravens in the towards the end of the season, and you're like, wait, how did that happen? I mean, it's football, and on a level on a more level playing field, that kind of stuff can show its face. But man, what about Tennessee turning around? The Alabama is no I mean, I have a soft spot for Tennessee, and being able to watch Knoxville and Nashville turn around and stake not just their college flag, but the whole Tennessee state flag in Alabama. Like Tennessee owns Alabama right now.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
Vanderbilt and the Vols beating them. So that shakes it up. I mean, Alabama fans last week, they weren't worried about anything, they said. I said you should be worried about that secondary. I told them.
Dude.
I said be worried about your secondary.
And yeah, I mean Tennessee, what a job by that running back. He's so good.
Yeah.
The true freshman goes out for a minute, and then that backup throws a pick, and then he comes back and leads them to a second half comeback. I mean, but Tennessee's defense, man, hats off to Tennessee's defense.
Yeah, they stepped up. Predicted what was going on. Oregon puts it on Purdue, taking over the number 1 spot. It's still like who is Oregon? It's still like you're still not an SEC team. So
all right,
how tested have you been?
Oregon's not an SEC team, and they don't have an SEC schedule. But I love that they got Ohio State,
and that's big.
And their head coach used to coach in the SEC because he was our defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
When we won a ship, so I got a lot of respect for Dan Lanning. And here's the thing: that number 1 spot, Oregon, you can have it. Everybody that's had number 1 eventually loses it this year. So go ahead and y'all keep it as long as you want it. Because once that 12-team playoff is lined up, like at the end of the year, it don't matter where everybody's ranked.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter. None of it matters anymore. We're not fighting over 4 spots.
Nope.
We got 12 spots. Pulling in the very last spot, we have Boise State, BYU at 11, and I mean these are the matchups we've been asking for years. So,
and Glenn, you want to see how level like this playing field is? Like you said earlier, BYU, Iowa State, Indiana, Army, and Navy. Yes, I said Army and Navy are all still undefeated.
Yeah, all still undefeated. And I mean, this is the projected as we're looking at it right now. But I mean, those teams that you just mentioned getting to the end of the season undefeated, it's going to mean a lot. I mean, do we get Army and Navy? Thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
In the first 12-team playoff, I mean that would be bonkers and amazing at the same time. Now Army and Navy have to play each other.
Yes.
Right?
We don't get both because one of them's taken an L at some point, and it could happen before they even play, but if they go in undefeated and then one of them takes out the other, which is inevitable there, we don't get both because they're not putting them both in there.
Yeah.
But here's the cool thing. If teams in the top 15 keep losing, then I feel like whichever team beats the other team in that game, if they're both undefeated, slides into that 12-team playoff. Am I wrong?
No, I think you're 100%.
They're on the up and up. And then, I mean, if Iowa State somehow keeps winning, I feel like they're jumping in. BYU, they're jumping in.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is what we wanted. We wanted to see that playing field leveled out, and the powerhouses aren't so powerful anymore.
Yeah, I mean, and the powerhouses are still good. You're not going to get that. The history isn't going to be washed away that easy of
exactly
the powerhouses, but I mean, guys who aren't getting the ball enough, guys who are itching to see a little more playing field, they're going to be moving around to these other top 25 programs that stick around there. And I mean, that the portal's going to help out a lot. So
Duke beat Florida State last week. Nope, sorry people, we're not talking about basketball. We're talking about football. So it's a really, really cool year. And I mean, I don't know if we touched on the Georgia Texas game yet.
No,
bro.
Let's talk about it, because that was Georgia coming up huge. That defense eating.
We've known each other for years, Glenn. You know how I am. I don't ever say anything before the game. But I get these feelings sometimes, like it could go one way or another. But I never say it because I don't want to jinx it. But I had a feeling we were going to go in there and our defense was going to show up. And if it did, we were going to win by a couple scores.
Yeah. And that's what you guys did. And, I mean, Texas just never could quite figure out what they could really do next. So.
And, I mean, shout out to Sarkisian. When it was 23-0, he did throw Arch Manning in for a little while, trying to change it up. But our front seven finally came out and played A, healthy, and B, they didn't want you to score. And they cared. They cared if you got in the end zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going hard on that.
Yeah. The Alabama game, I feel like it woke us up, and then we had a couple of meh games after that. But then, Kirby's he's always going to stack the deck on the bigger games and try and win with a lesser deck on the smaller games. That's just, his 100th win. So.
And with seeing Alabama, I mean, I don't know if he did, but I can't, in this day of technology, I can't see the Georgia guys going out on that field not knowing Alabama just lost.
Oh, yeah.
And that pumping them up even more.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't a race anymore. Like, now we show them who we are.
Yeah.
We are who they thought we were.
Exactly. And then, I mean, it's also one of those things where I think because I don't think there's any, conference sides on it anymore, if we have one loss in the SEC and Texas has one loss in the SEC, I think we play each other in the championship game at the end.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the first year they've added Texas and Oklahoma, and so don't quote me on that, party people. But
yeah, I'm not exactly. I mean, the conferences still confuse me, but I'm trying to pick up, and I mean, I'm watching paying a lot more attention to college football now that I've actually got what I've been clamoring for years.
Yeah, you talked about it. You actually wanted it to be bigger than 8. And I just didn't think it was going to jump straight from 4 to 12. So I was like, look,
I didn't think so either.
It needs to be more like NFL-style playoff. And then when they went to 12, I was like, okay, here we go. Now 12. You can lose it. Now you can lose a game and find out who you are, and then
exactly.
It just should have always been like this.
Yeah, it's exciting. Starting December 21st is that first round, but. Kels, I want to thank you for jumping on and joining. Hopefully we get you back next week. We're going to be reaching out to a local Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach and fighter and try to pick his brain a little bit. So hopefully he'll jump on with us, and we'll keep you guys posted on this college football playoff, what it's looking like and how everybody's doing. Until then, we'll see you again.
Go Ravens.
Yeah, I didn't even get to talk about the Ravens. We'll see you guys again later next week.
Peace.
Awesome.
I had to throw that in there for you because I saw your jersey and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, wearing the trying to bring out the ghost of Ed Reed past. To get everybody awake.
Bro, you guys look so good. I said it a while back. Y'all have won 4 in a row, right?
Yeah.
Because I said we were talking about it at work, and everyone was like, "All right, who's in your top 5?" And I saved y'all for last on my list just because y'all were 0-2 at the time, and I went with the first 4 teams that I thought were good. One of them was the Saints at the time, but now we know who they are.
Yeah,
But
well, they're so beat up too.
Yeah, injuries got so. But then I was like, the best 0-2 team though, and this team's gonna be in the top 5 in a few weeks. Y'all see, I was like, is the Ravens because y'all are complete.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Buccaneers ain't bad either.
No, today is going to be a big game. I mean, Baker's playing so well, like un-Baker like.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is Baker and he's just playing un-Brown like. He's been away from the Browns long enough.
Dude, we're not on air, right? It says live on here, so I didn't know if I was going to say it